The Ogdoad is not a planet. It is not another governor. It is not another layer added to the soul during descent. The Ogdoad is the state beyond the planetary spheres, beyond fate, beyond the structures that bind awareness to conditioned existence. In the Hermetic cosmology described in Poimandres, the soul descends through the 7 governors and acquires their garments. Fluctuation from the moon, distortion from Mercury, attachment from Venus, identity from the sun, impulse from Mars, expansion from Jupiter, limitation from Saturn. Each garment shapes experience. Each garment organizes awareness around a structure. And together, they form the architecture of embodied existence within the spheres of fate. But the ascent reverses this process. The soul returns each garment to its corresponding sphere, not by destroying the planetary powers, but by no longer identifying with them. When the final garment is released in Saturn, the soul reaches the threshold of the Ogdoad, the 8th sphere, the realm beyond planetary governance. In Hermetic teaching, the Ogdoad is associated with the fixed stars, divine harmony, and direct participation in Nous, the divine intelligence underlying reality itself. This is important to understand clearly. The Ogdoad is not annihilation. It is liberation from psychic bondage. The planetary spheres govern conditioned consciousness. The Ogdoad represents consciousness no longer governed by condition. Within ordinary experience, awareness is constantly shaped by reaction, desire, fear, identity, and change. Experience becomes fragmented into opposites: gain and loss, pleasure and pain, hope and fear, expansion and contraction. The soul moves endlessly between these polarities while identified with the garments of the governors. This movement is fate, not punishment, but participation in conditioned structure. The Ogdoad represents the ending of this identification. Awareness remains present, but no longer experiences itself as bound to the oscillations of the planetary order. In many later traditions, this state became confused with reward, paradise, or escape into another world. But the Hermetic understanding is more precise. The Ogdoad is direct alignment with divine reality beyond psychic fragmentation. The individual structure softens. The compulsions of the governors dissolve. Awareness no longer moves as a divided self struggling within opposing forces. A useful allegory is sunlight reflected through colored glass. Each planetary garment colors awareness in a different way. One distorts through desire, another through fear, another through identity. Most people mistake the colors for the light itself, but the Ogdoad is like seeing the light before it passes through the glass, undivided, unconditioned, whole. This does not mean personality disappears completely during life. The body and mind may continue functioning. Speech continues. Action continues. The planetary structures may still appear within experience, but they are no longer mistaken for the source of awareness. This is the critical distinction of the Hermetic ascent. Liberation is not destruction of the world. It is freedom from complete identification with it. The Ogdoad is also described as a realm of harmony and hymn. In Poimandres, liberated souls join the powers above the spheres in praise of the divine order. This symbolism points toward unity rather than division. The fragmented movements of the lower spheres become resolved into coherence. The soul no longer experiences itself as isolated from divine intelligence. In practical terms, this means awareness no longer depends on external conditions for wholeness. Identity is no longer defended. Desire no longer governs perception. Fear no longer defines reality. The structures of the governors may still appear, but they no longer possess absolute authority. The core teaching of the Ogdoad is not the acquisition of something new. It is the recognition of what remains when the planetary garments are no longer mistaken for the self. Nothing additional is added to awareness in the Ogdoad. Instead, distortion ceases, compulsion ceases, fragmentation ceases. What remains is participation in reality without bondage to the structures of fate. This is the completion of the Hermetic ascent. The soul passes beyond the seven governors, beyond the spheres of conditioned existence, beyond the architecture of psychic necessity. And awareness stands within the eighth sphere, no longer bound by the garments it once carried. You have passed through the seven governors. You have seen the garments placed upon awareness during descent: fluctuation, distortion, attachment, identity, impulse, expansion, limitation. Each sphere shaped perception. Each sphere organized consciousness around a structure. And for a time, those structures appeared to be the self. But the ascent revealed something deeper. The garments were experienced, yet awareness itself was never identical to them. One by one, the planetary layers were returned. Not destroyed, not rejected, but released from identification. Now the movement changes. You are no longer moving through a planetary sphere. You are approaching what lies beyond them. The Ogdoad is not another condition to acquire, not another identity, not another structure. That attention becomes still, not through effort, but through the ending of grasping. Notice any remaining tendency to seek, any movement toward becoming, any impulse to define what comes next. Do not follow these movements. Do not resist them. Simply allow awareness to remain present without reaching. The governors depended upon identification. Without identification, their authority weakens. The movements may still appear. Thought may still arise. Sensation may still unfold. But awareness no longer collapses into them. Remain here before identity reforms, before desire projects, before fear contracts experience into structure. Nothing is required. Nothing is missing. Nothing needs to be added to awareness. This is the threshold of the eighth sphere. Not escape from reality, but release from bondage to conditioned perception. Stay here long enough to feel the stillness beneath movement. The structures of the governors become distant. The compulsions lose density. The pressure of fate begins to loosen. Awareness remains present, without needing to become anything within the spheres. You are now ready to enter direct participation in the Ogdoad, where awareness remains whole before all division. Allow the body to become still, not through control, but through release from unnecessary movement. Nothing needs to be attained. Nothing needs to be overcome. Bring attention to awareness itself. Not to thought, not to sensation, not to identity, but to that which remains present through all of them. The 7 garments have been returned. Fluctuation released to the moon. Distortion released to Mercury. Attachment released to Venus. Identity released to the Sun. Impulse released to Mars. Expansion released to Jupiter. Limitation released to Saturn. The spheres remain, but their authority has weakened. Awareness no longer mistakes their movements for its source. Now remain here, before becoming, before reaction, before division. Thought may still arise. Let it pass. Sensation may still appear. Let it pass. Memory may still unfold. Let it pass. Do not follow. Do not resist. Awareness remains present before all movement. Now observe the silence beneath experience. Not absence, not emptiness, but undivided presence. The stillness that existed before the governors. There is no movement toward completion here. Nothing is missing. Nothing is being accumulated. Nothing is becoming more whole. Awareness simply remains. Feel the difference clearly. The planetary spheres moved through polarity, gain and loss, desire and fear, expansion and contraction, identity and limitation. But here, the movement of opposites begins to dissolve. Awareness no longer struggles between conditions, no longer seeks permanence within temporary structures, no longer defines itself through the garments of fate. The governors become transparent. The structures lose density. The compulsions fall silent. Now remain present without constructing a center, without projecting a future, without resisting the present. Only awareness remains, undivided, unconditioned, whole. This is the threshold of the Ogdoad, the 8th sphere beyond the governors, the realm beyond psychic bondage, not escape from existence, but freedom within it. The fixed stars remain above the planetary motions, unmoved by the cycles below. So too does awareness remain present beyond the oscillations of the spheres. Nothing has been added, only distortion has fallen away. Now the final release begins. All remaining attachment to the governors, all remaining identification with conditioned structure, all remaining belief in separation is surrendered, returned to the silence beyond the spheres. Awareness remains before division, before fate, before the garments of descent. No center, no boundary, no compulsion, no fear, only presence. Rest here, beyond the 7 governors, beyond the architecture of conditioned becoming, beyond the cycles of psychic necessity. The ascent is complete. The spheres no longer bind awareness. The garments no longer define the soul. You return, yet you are no longer bound.